Life gets pretty crazy, especially around the new year. So I want to try something a little different today. What I want to do is show you 5 of my favorite places in Skyrim that I find the most comforting to just chill at. I can guarantee that most of you have probably never seen these spots. So let's go to our first one, which is actually going to be also attached to a really cool quest, and it's called Frost Flow Lighthouse. So let's take a little journey up there to start our adventure of relaxation. All right, here's our very first stop. It's one of my favorite places in Skyrim. We ended up getting here tonight, but I actually think it looks pretty cool this way too. Let's get up there and check it out. Nice little view there of the lighthouse and the moon, I guess. Let's go inside. Oh, it's locked. Well, I don't think the owners will mind if I just take a quick little peek-see. Oh, this is not the inside. Okay. There's the door. Okay, this was supposed to be a little bit calming. We'll just cut ahead. Okay, you know what? That's not what I expected, but I guess it's just a good representation of life, right? Sometimes when you're trying to relax, things come up, you just gotta take care of them and get right back to it. Alright, now that we're at the top of the lighthouse, we got one of my favorite views in all of Skyrim. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful looking out over the water. And at nighttime, even though it is harder to see, it still looks absolutely gorgeous. It's also a really fun side quest that's tucked away. I think a lot of people don't get to experience. So definitely check this place out. Let's move on to our next area. That lighthouse is still my favorite place. Maybe because of the quest, but still awesome. So it didn't start out as chill as I wanted, but our next spot is actually, I would imagine, one of the least thought about, and that is a little hill overlooking the plains of Whiterun. It's actually not too far away from the Western Watchtower near Whiterun. Try saying that 5 times fast. And that makes it pretty easy to get to and a nice spot to chill. So let's go take a look. After climbing carefully up to the top of the mountain, we get this very lovely view of the Whiterun Plains. You see the bandit camp over there. All the plains of Whiterun. Your giant camp over there. Beautiful view of the mountain range and plains. This is one of my favorite spots just to look out. Absolutely beautiful. Alright, well, I think this is a perfect... Oops, we're sliding down here a little bit. I think this is this is probably a perfect view. But we'll move on to our next spot. Definitely a go-to location for some chills and vibes. So on our way to our next location, I actually ran across something all players have traveled quite a few times, especially to and from Falkreath, but probably haven't stopped to take a look at how pretty the scenery is. So we're going to add in a little bonus so I can show you this really cool part of road. This actually wasn't a planned location, but I actually thought it was really good with the fog that rolled in on the way to our next location. I thought it looked really cool. You don't usually see straight paths like this, especially down the mountain, even though this is an area that most players have probably passed through quite a bit. But if you don't take a moment to actually look at it, you might not notice just how cool this one area could be.
We're here to teach you a lesson.
Oh, yeah, especially with oh, what? Okay, well, we just got a little bit of a hiccup here. Hold on one moment, please.
Victory's yours, I submit.
Well, that was a minor inconvenience. I was just trying to enjoy the... Is there any other enemies missing? Okay, well, that was definitely annoying. But luckily, we can still get a nice view here Just getting a little closer to the path and looking straight down. It's really nice. See if we can get a view at the point of interest at the bottom of the hill. Just found out that these hired thugs had a contract on me from a niece. A niece? Interesting. I wonder if we'll see any more of them. There we go. Gorgeous. Look at that. Look at that view. So you go through this path a lot, but you might not actually notice how gorgeous it is if you just don't take a moment to look at it. Look at that. Anyway, now we'll move on to our actual next point. Again, a little bit of action where we didn't want it, but hey, sometimes you gotta deal with the stress before you can relax. So now we're gonna move on to our actual second last point, which is a place very close to the start of the game that most players probably just blast right past. And that is the little lake just west of Riverwood. There's a really nice spot on a mountain on the west side of it that just gives you an amazing view. All right, our next spot is indeed very difficult to get up to, but leads to an absolutely gorgeous view of the lake near Riverwood. Now, it might just seem like a sea of trees, but there's something to be said about a sea of trees near a body of water. It's just such a nice contrast of the different things in nature. Now, you might think looking up over at the mountain near Black Falls Barrow would give you a good view, but you just don't quite get to see it this way with all the trees mingling together. And you also wouldn't be able to see the wheel of the sawmill cut the logs right next to the river there. Such a nice view. Oh, looks like the sun's going down. Perfect. It's perfect time, actually. I think we'll get a nice little quick time lapse of this. And as we watch High Hrothgar fade into the night, we're going to head on over to our next spot. Definitely a really cool spot overlooking that lake. There's lots of great views of it. That one just happens to be my favorite, I think because of all the trees. But anyway, we're getting into our last spot, which is a bit different from the other ones because it's not a wide sweeping shot of somewhere really pretty. It's much more close up and intimate. And that is going to be the Apprentice Stone over by Morthal in the swamp area. Alright, as we come up on our last spot here, it actually just happens to be the Standing Stone, the Apprentice Standing Stone. With the Blue Palace there up in the distance. I think a lot of people forget just how beautiful this little spot is by the stone. It's almost like a shrine along the river as it blends into the ocean. It's quite a beautiful spot. I think it also really helps to show that even in such a cold place like Skyrim, you can still see lots of different kinds of nature. It's not just sweeping views of plains or mountains in the snow, there's also marsh and bog as well. Indeed, quite a beautiful view. You can see a lot of the bog trees as well. Lots of wildlife too running around. It's a nice spot. With the Blue Palace in the distance, definitely makes it look the best. Let's see if we can get some morning light or dusk light shining on this. There we go. Now that we're in the evening, you can really see the of the sun coming through the trees. Such a gorgeous spot. Another wonderful thing about this exact spot is the sound of the river rushing around you as it comes off the marsh and goes toward the pier of solitude. Ah, crickets, perfect timing. As the sun sets here over the Blue Palace, I just wanted to take a moment and ask you what you thought of a little difference in what we usually do. Please let me know, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.